And what just happened from 3-0 up to 3-3 and scenes like that at the end?
You've seen what I've seen, Dan. The second half wasn't good enough. So even the goals, you can analyse the goals in terms of they were 3 world-class goals. But, I've said that a few times. You can't, the lad's a free kick, so don't give the free kick away. It's a silly free kick to give. And to be fair, he's put it in the top corner. Christian Dennis, the next one, I think he was the second who scored the goal, second goal, is a shot. So that's another one where you can't give these players time and space to put the ball where they want to put it. And then the other one is obviously another worldie at the end, which I don't know where they're getting 11 minutes from. I just don't. But listen, I spoke to the fourth official in the right way, right the way through the game. And there's no way that should have been played 11 minutes, as simple as that. And then they've scored in 100 whatever minutes it was.
Just on the added time, what explanation have you had for that?
And nothing, I haven't been in to see them at all. So it doesn't matter. So for me, Dan, it doesn't really matter, because what happens now is you'll go in and they'll give you the explanation, the answers, if you like, which doesn't help us, does you? So the only positive that you take out of it, you've ended up getting a point when you should have had all 3.
Does it alter the fact that what you're saying about the goals, even if you played 20 minutes, you should be defending those moments better?
Well, that's what I said a minute ago. Yeah, we should have. Everyone knows that. If you've got to defend the goals, that's what I've just alluded to, the fact that. But you don't give the free kick away, and then you stop the shots. So your job is to stop a shot. Your job is to stop a cross if you're a defender, and your job as a keeper is to save them. But the world-class goals, aren't they? So that's that. That's all I can say on that thing in terms of that. But it was just the performance in the first half was really good. The goals were really good. And then, you come out second half. We spoke about half-time, what to expect. The changes, they'd already made the change, I think, after half an hour. So we'd already expect what was coming, some more changes at half-time, maybe a change of shape, which they didn't change the shape, just the personnel. And their benches had an impact.
How much does that sum up a lot of the things that have frustrated you this season, that there's a lot of good things in that first half, and then there's a lot of things that you're pretty fed up with in the second half?
Well, you are fed up with it, but it's the same things all the time. So, always, and as I said to you before, I am a glass half full. I want to take the positive out of it, and I have to. This stage of the season, you have to take the positives, because, everyone's on the floor, isn't it? And you have to pick them up. You have to go again, because, you've got more games now coming really, really thick and fast. And we've got to get ourselves over the line. We could have got ourselves maybe over the line today. I don't know how the results have gone. I'll have a look at them when we go in, but at the end of the day is that you have to take care of yourself, and that's what we should have done. But it's too many times early on the season when we've been in really strong positions and we've let it slip.
What kind of an impact does that have on people in the changing room, as you say there, to concede in that way and all that came after it? How much damage might that do to your group of players?
Well, you've said this before to me. You said to me last week against Bromley the same thing. So you've said that last week about how much damage does it, but you've seen that in the first half. So again, you have to pick them back up, and again you want them to respond the way they did in the first half there. So that's the damage, if you like. So I told you, or I said to you about having a positive mindset and a belief, and that's why I end up speaking to them on the pitch, just to say that we've got this in this dressing room. You've got to look at the first half performance was good, and the goals are very good. So they're the positives that we take on it, and make sure that the mindset's right and the belief is right.
But psychologically, does it show us that second half that there is some damage?
Well, there used to be, Dan, didn't he? So early on there was. Then we got past it, and then it's just keeping sort of back in again. But at the end of the day, is the response from last week to this week in the first half was great in terms of getting the lead, and then you just can't have a second half performance in terms of lacking quality when we should have passed the ball to each other, giving the ball straight back to them. And then, as I said, when you give the ball straight back to them, if you give them lads free shots from in and around your box, then they're going to end up in top corners.
You mentioned speaking to the players on the pitch in a little huddle in the centre circle there, and then went to the Clayton end as is customary. Mixed reaction from some of your home fans.
It was more positive, to be honest, than mixed. Negative. There's one or two, but I'd be the same. So I'm a fan. So you're winning the game 3-0. You're expected to see it out. So you should win the game at 3-0. You should win the game. We didn't, and then we have to stick together. And that's what I said. You need to stick together in here, and we go on to the next game. It's as simple as that.
And just one personnel thing to ask you about. We knew about Seamus Keneally obviously being out, but Michael Kelly in goal today. What's the situation with
Billy? Just had a niggle with his knee, so we'll see how he goes now.